everybody, and welcome back to Dylan's Gauge Trains. And for today's video, I thought we'd do something special. So last weekend, I got my hands on this little guy at a train show. This is the Lionel post-war electric box cab. I honestly thought that this was a pretty interesting engine when I saw it on the shelf, and I thought I'd share some things about it and then show you a little run around on the loop. So I hope you enjoy this little review. Okay, so the real 520 was a prototype for the 80-ton GE 600 DC volt electric box cab. It worked at the Chilean exploration company's copper mines as their primary source of power. But since this was a prototype, not a ton of its other kind was made, and I couldn't even find any of its sisters online, so yeah. In terms of its model history, this engine's tooling, precisely the body, would be used for Lionel's security car that they would make again that year. And would also, the tooling itself, just as the whole engine, would be sold to K-Line, which obviously we know is backed by Lionel. So, while they don't make the engine itself anymore, they do make the security car with the same body shell. But, yeah, so a lot of the information on this guy I couldn't find, unfortunately, for this video. If there is any new information, please leave me a comment. I would love to know more of the history of this engine, because honestly, this is probably one of my favorite electric engines so far. But, yeah, let's get a little bit up and close with this model. Okay, so let's take a up-close look at the locomotive. So here we have your standard front coupler, metal handrail, and body. A thing that the guy told me at the show was that this entire body here was completely plastic, and sometimes some people would end up picking it up from like the sides and the body would just start cracking. So he would put in this little screw here, which was not on the original model, but I wanted to point that out. As for the rest of this, you have your stock standard dummy headlights, pretty bare basic detail, but yeah, let's get to the top of the engine. Okay, so here on the top of the engine, we have obviously nothing too much, but we do have these plastic pantographs, and unfortunately, these aren't the special kind of pantographs that you can install the cable over the track, and you can hook up that actually conducts electricity for the model, since unfortunately these are plastic. And honestly, when I tried to lift these up, these pins here constantly started to keep breaking off, so I just have it set down for now. Then we have your reverse switch, so you have your regular in the center, which is neutral, and then you're just reverse. Honestly, this pin is like extremely loose, which is the first I've ever seen on a post-war engine, since usually the bigger steamers have more stiffer switches on them. But yeah, let's go ahead and move to the back of the engine. Okay, now let's look at the side of this engine. So on the side, you can really start to see more of the truck detailing along here, and even some of the details like the number, the built by Lionel, the new lines. In real life, the number of the engine would have actually been in the center instead of just off to the left side. On the other side of this, it's on the right side. So, kind of an odd change, but yeah, for the most part, it's not really a huge deal. You also have your windows and your stepladder. But, yeah, nothing really too much to talk about with the side of this engine, so let's move to the back. Okay, so now onto the back of the engine. Mostly the same stuff I said before. You still have your regular knuckle coupler, handrails, and obviously same detail as the front, but without your noticeable pantographs. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. These engines were pretty stock standard basic starter set engines, so you're not going to get too much detail out of it, but overall, I think this is a very, very nice engine for the most part. I don't really like bigger electric engines, so having something small like this to go along with like my small steam that I usually use on the section is actually pretty nice. So yeah, that's pretty much most of what I got to say about this little guy and most of the stuff on it. Unfortunately, I do not have a security car to go with this thing, because then I would have liked to compare the body shells, but yeah, we'll go from there, and let's now get into a little running session of this guy. Okay, so all in all, in my opinion, for a starter post-war engine, this is definitely the best bang for your buck in terms of running. I think in detail, it could have a little bit better, but it's definitely a great engine to get started with, and I probably recommend this a ton. But, yeah, there's pretty much it for the review, and I hope you all enjoyed this little review. I know it's not as long as my last one, but yeah, I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.